All right, it's about 5:20 p.m. on Friday, the 13th. Friday, June 13th. Tomorrow, nationwide are the No Kings protests. Nationwide protests against Donald Trump and his authoritarian theocratic bullshit. Tomorrow's Donald Trump's birthday. Pervert Hoover turns 79 tomorrow. And tomorrow is also Mango Mussolini's little military parade in Washington, D.C., which looks like it's going to get rained out. That's a shame, first of all. Yesterday we saw firsthand the authoritarian bullshit of this administration. We saw it in Los Angeles with California Senator Alex Padilla, getting manhandled, shoved around, thrown to the ground, hands cuffed behind his back while laying on the ground at the hand of DHS Secretary and her security goons, who I guarantee you did not recognize him. They treated him the way they did because he was brown. He's still brown. To them, he was just another Mexican shit disturber, and so that's why they did what they did to him. But these protests are going to happen tomorrow. And, and this stuff goes hand in hand. I mean, everything that Trump has been doing in Los Angeles this week and last weekend with the National Guard and with the Marines. And I read today that the Marines that are in Los Angeles have been dispatched to guard the federal building where Senator Alex Padilla has his office, the same building where Kristi Noem held her little press conference yesterday, and where he got arrested. And that office building, that federal office building, is located 15 miles away from where the protests are. That's longer than the island of Manhattan, distance-wise. Almost double. It's twice the length of San Francisco away from where the protests are. And and what was Kristi Noem saying when Alex Padilla started getting manhandled in there before he got arrested? What was Kristi Noem saying? She said, "We are not going anywhere. We are here to liberate this city and this state from the socialist government at the state and local level, which the people of California elected." She said that the Trump administration, and she, as the Department of Homeland Security and the United States Marines, aren't going anywhere, and they are here to conduct a coup. Secretary of Department of Homeland Security, who murdered a puppy by shooting it in the face, Kristi Noem, said that the full power of the executive branch of the United States government and the United States military is going to conduct a coup in the city of Los Angeles and the state of California and liberate Los Angeles and California from the people that the city of Los Angeles and the state of California elected to lead them democratically. That the Trump administration and she and the United States military are going to conduct a coup and liberate California from their own elected government. And so it's great timing. I mean, Donald Trump, I'm sure he was doing this week-long buildup in Los Angeles to lead up to his parade that's going to get rained out tomorrow as a show of strength, a show of power, because if you're 375 pounds of a globulous protuberance who cheats at golf, what's the only thing that you can do to show power and dominance? Order the military to do it on your behalf. And so I'm sure that he thought that this whole week of the National Guard and the Marines and these massive mass arrests and deportations in Los Angeles, in California, were the buildup to his little military jagoff parade tomorrow that's going to get rained out. But what's not going to get rained out is the thousands of other protests against him nationwide. And the thing that I hope for the most for these protests tomorrow, there are two things that I hope the most. One is that they're peaceful. Two is that they are absolutely fucking massive. I want 10 million Americans in the streets tomorrow, nationwide. If 10 million Americans show up and his little parade gets rained out, or even if it goes forward in the rain, which footage is going to be more compelling? Fat Nixon, pervert Hoover standing under an awning in Washington, D.C., watching some tanks roll by in the pouring rain? Or millions and millions and millions and millions of Americans all across this country? I mean, it's going to be sunny and 68 degrees tomorrow in San Francisco. There is not going to be a cloud in the sky. And my brother are going to be protesting and marching all day. That footage is going to be more compelling. That footage is going to be more compelling. Protests in New York, in Chicago, in Columbus, in Nashville, in Mobile, in Jacksonville, in Tallahassee, in Miami, in Houston, in Austin, in Dallas, in Kansas City, in Iowa, in Nebraska, in Coeur d'Alene, Idaho, in Boise, in Salt Lake City, in Seattle, in Portland, from coast to coast, in New Hampshire, in Vermont, in Maine, in Boston, in red states and blue states alike. Nationwide, millions and millions and millions and millions of Americans. That is going to get a lot of coverage. That's going to get a lot of coverage. And Fat Nixon is going to be standing under a fucking awning on some little stage in Washington, D.C., wearing his diaper, wearing his catheter. Melania's not going to be there. His kids aren't going to be there. He's going to be standing there with fucking Stephen Miller and J.D. Vance and Marco Rubio. And they're going to have their own little racist circle jerk going on. Tomorrow's going to be a good day. Please be safe, everybody. Please be safe. Do not give them a reason. Just don't.